Sultan Abdullah Ayatuddin Mustafa bin Nasha.
Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mita Sukhi Hontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 50 by Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima. Tonight we are going to discuss the first session of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the fifth sutta from the total of 10 sutta that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Klang Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 49 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open. Therefore, whoever that wish to join the class where we can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Klang's Facebook Messenger. We are always welcoming newcomers. Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima will be a panelist at the World Buddhist Conference 2023 with topic Future, Proof and Past here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia on March 25th to 26th. This conference will be organized by Young Buddhist Association of Malaysia. Bhante will be discussing the critical aspect of the Sri Lankan government's proposal to include the Tipitaka on UNESCO's Memory of the World MOW register. Therefore, we would like to inform that therefore we would like to inform that there will be no sutta discussion on the coming March 24. However, Bhante Chandima will be conducting a Dhamma talk in Ti-Ratana Vihara Amapadana Klang on March 25th, 8 p.m. onwards, with topics You Deserve to Be Happy. Everyone is welcome to join this event. This event also will be broadcast live in our Facebook page on the same time. Now, please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Patisotta Canada, a virtual Dhamma organization that helps beginner as well as expert students in learning Dhamma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dhamma Pariyesana, Patisotta's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on regular basis. You can check on Patisotta with the link www.patisotta.blogspot.com. Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima earned his PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 till 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante. Thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Bhante.
Welcome back to our Sutta discussion, and we are going to start off a brand new topic today. As all of you know, it's about the first teaching, Sutta, which was given by the Shakyamuni Buddha, which is titled as Dhammacakkappavattana. So there are some what you call double consonants, So I can see that there are participants from different places. So we have Aliana here. We have Kim. She's on travels, has this holiday mood. Happy mood, holiday mood. Have Sadhris. We have Lim facilitating everything. We have Sita with her mother. We have Na. She has a new name, I guess. The name Ivory, Kelly, Yen. These are new folks, I guess. B, Hema, and Chan. Probably a few others might join as we proceed. All right. So, without further ado, let's pay respect to the Buddha, and then we'll start this. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. I think I don't need to ask you the meaning of what it is, right? I already explained to you, right? If I randomly asked you, what does Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa, what would be your answer like? Because kind of a revisiting of what we did last Friday. What does Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa mean?
It's a long one.
It's long, but the idea is consistent.
It's a long one.
Yeah, anybody wants to try, the meaning of this homage to the Buddha part. Namo tassa bhagavato arahatu samma sambuddhassa. How do we separate the words so that we can understand the meaning? Namo tassa, let's separate Namo tassa. Then we have bhagavato
Yes.
arahato samma sambuddhassa. So it's pretty easy. So we understand then these three mean something. Bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa, homage to that. Yeah, Sadhvis. Please unmute your phone. Sorry, the microphone.
To summarize it, is something like we value or we appreciate the 9 quality of the Buddha. Is it quite
Yeah,
similar?
That's a descriptive answer. I mean, if we nail it down to what do those Bhagavato, Arahato, Samma Sambuddhassa mean, so we can sort of nail down, Bhagavato means the blessed one, the one who has eradicated Raga, Dosa, Moha in their entirety. And then Arahato means someone who has cut the radius of the sansaric wheel. And then Samma Sambuddhassa means the one who has self-awakened, right? So these are, so homage to the person who has done these three things. It's easy, right? So next time when you say Namo tassa bhagavato anywhere, in a temple, before a puja, in your house practice, wherever, get to think about, okay, this is the meaning of Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, an additional thing. So today we are going to conduct our 50th session. Interesting, huh? We have done 49 sessions throughout the year. Interesting. Yeah. Don't need to be worried about it. Happily looking at revisiting the past in a happy way, But lucky enough, you are joining for the new sutta. Today is the starting date of the new sutta. So don't need to worry about it. So you've been doing previous sutta for a couple months, 4 months, Sigalavada Sutta. It does not have lots of philosophical things. It's more about the discipline, our discipline, especially your discipline, lay people discipline. At the end, it's about discipline of even Bhante's Reverend Venerable monks. Before that, we did main 3 suttas, Mangala, Ratana, Metta, right? These are very famous suttas, like monks chant every day, probably when they come to your house to chant, they chant. So, but they have meanings too. They have different things to learn too. So we've done that too. So the sutta that we're going to be doing today is very important. Why is it very important? This is the major Dhamma teaching that the Buddha revealed for the first time to a group of people. There are reasons why he chose a group of people, why not one person. Let's unpack all those stuff while we discuss. First, I wanted to ask you, so today is the 50th session and the first day of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta.
Yeah.
I think you all have the PDF probably as a soft copy or probably as a printout. Isn't it? Okay. Yeah, so.
Read out.
Yeah, no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have the other one too. Great. The other flyer too. Aliana, let me identify our new folks today. So we have Irene, we have Kelly here, we have B, we have Chua, Yashoda, Lestari. Do you know all these people? Or are they new folks? Is there anybody who did not contact our group, WhatsApp group, or just came today right away by typing the Zoom ID and the password?
Yes, Bhante, mostly I know them.
Oh,
But
you know all of them?
yeah, mostly, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, great. You said 3 people coming in today. So
yeah. It's
interesting.
just some did not contact me, so there are maybe the documents I haven't passed to them.
Okay, yeah. Contact is passa, passa. Okay, in Pali. What is their level though? Let me ask you. How about Yashoda? How are you? So, what's your level of Sutta studies? Have you done some Sutta studies before? Otherwise, I'm thinking you are an expert. You know everything.
I'm fine. This is
You're
my
fine?
first time joining your group.
Yeah, first time. But have you exposed to previous Sutta studies? Some
Yes,
suttas?
yes.
Great.
Exposed before.
And you from Malaysia?
Yeah,
I
from
think so.
Malaysia.
Okay. How about Lestari? How about you and
This is the first time for me to join the English Sutta class. I joined Mandarin Sutta class before, but for English, this is the first time.
Bhante, Lestari is Sister Lala. From TRB. Yeah.
Great. Now I understand. You are expert in designing flyers. Nice to see you. And then how about others? Chua? Do we
Yes, good evening, Bhante. This is my first time. I've
Okay.
never attended any Sutta class. I just got
Okay.
this flyer, so I just zoom into, to learn something about
Okay.
the
Great.
Sutta from you. Yeah.
Okay. Are you in touch with the temple, or you just saw it online and just came in?
No, I always visit the BMV, and I'm a member of Sambodhi Buddhist Center in Setia Alam.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
And I think the other book, how about B and Irene? How are their situations?
Okay, I'm from Klang, Malaysia.
Okay, then you should be a part of the
I have no
temple, right?
experience in Sutta study, so I'm joining to to learn. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So please let me know if there's anything that you find a little strange, not uncomfortable, I would say, not comprehensible in your way, right? So I'm always here to help in case
Okay,
if you
sure.
come up with some. Don't think that I'm going with the flow, like the people who already know this stuff, right? Irene, how about you?
Hello, Bhante.
Yeah.
This is my first Sutta study. I got to know about this talk through my Buddhist center, Mudita Buddhist Center in Klang.
Okay, great, great. Yeah, nice to see you all. And I hope that you will learn. And if you have anything, please let me know by chat or even in other posts. You can ask questions on time here. So, okay, great. So you all have the two documents.
Sorry, just sharing. Since this is my first join in the English Sutta class, actually from all this while, I know that we have so many classes, but every time when I want to join, it is in the middle. So I feel like not comfortable to join in sudden squeeze it in middle. Okay, so that's why this is because I know this is the first class. So I hope that I can be a very brand fresh. I can committed, but
Okay.
I don't know if I can committed or not due to my very heavy schedule. But I will try my best lah, since from first and it's prediction about 15 class. So hopefully I can commit it for the whole 15 classes lah. That is the expectation of me, and I believe most of the student in this class also. We want to learn and committed from the first until it's completed for this parita, for this sutta.
Yeah,
Thank
supposed to be, but it depends on each person's time. And there's no hard and fast rule. You must come, you must be there. So it's a kind of a very what do you call, comfortable thing to think about. But this is all about learning, self-learning and studying together. As Aliana always adding at the end of every message, happy learning together. See, this is how we're gonna look at all this stuff. So it's good that you thought about first day. Why not? I'm gonna start off with the first day. Okay, great. Now somebody send a message over here. Welcome everybody. Yeah. Okay, this is the document that I shared with you. What is this? Oh, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. This appeared, or this appears in Samyutta Nikaya 56.1.1. Now people might wonder, what is Samyutta Nikaya? Samyutta Nikaya is a book in the Sutta Pitaka. There are 5 books. Diga, Majjhima. Diga is first, Majjhima is second. Anguttara is third, Samyutta is fourth, Khuddaka is fifth. 5 books for the Sutta. Okay. Then Vinaya has another set of books. Abhidhamma has another set of books. Don't worry about those books, because there was a time in Sri Lanka, the oral things that these were coming down to us orally, not by books. Only in Sri Lanka, they were textualized, they were written into books. So in that classification, we understand this sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, was given to the Samyutta Nikaya. Samyutta means combined teachings. Okay. So before I get into the text today, I would like to discuss about the background of the sutta. I hear some noise from the background. Can you please, I can't understand from which person's profile comes up. Okay, great. So, setting the wheel of Dhamma in motion. I would like to know from all of you, what do you know about this sutta? Let's start from the known and let's go to the unknown. That's a good one, right? Yeah, let me know, what do you know about this sutta? What do you know? Do you get to know this every day? Do you get to know this sometime in the year? Do you have some other knowledge about this sutta from your parents' side, maybe in your culture or from your temple? What are your thoughts about? What is your knowledge about this sutta, basically? Yeah, Sister Lala, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, for us, in Indonesia, we study this sutta in the school time. Is every time in the exam. That in the story we learn this is the first sutta that Buddha teaching to 5 of his students. Then it's start of the we call it berputarnya roda dhamma. It means like the dhamma wheel is starting to move. So it is the first teaching of Buddha. So that's what we know. But what the really meaning actually is far behind that we don't really understand.
Yeah, that's why you are here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How about others? What do you know about this sutta? Just something simple, short and sweet. Not any too lengthy stuff. Okay. Do you remember how things happened with the Buddha's life? So now let's look at his life. So ascetic Siddhartha left 5 ascetics, right? Kondanya, Vappa, Bhaddiya, Mahanama, Astra. They were a group of ascetics who suggested the Buddha the only way to attain Samma Sambuddhatva is by practicing very austere, very hard practices like not eating, not taking care of oneself. And then the more you, I would say, the more you give pain to the body, the closer, the nearer you are into the enlightenment. This is kind of the teaching that they told him. Actually, he accepted that, whatever the reason. So he practiced. It is said that he practiced for 6 years. I think it's like a mistake for him, but probably somebody might say, yes, we come out of the pain. We rise due to the pain. We rise due to the failures. Yes, it is. Without failures, we will never find out our way out. Anyways, so he practiced for 6 years. Then he found out when he is trying to touch his tummy, then he's almost going to touch his back. That means the back and the front area of his body is almost like no difference. He thought, I don't think this is the way. This is pain. I'm giving pain to my body. I like to start this discussion with the topic of pain because this is an interesting topic. This is why people want to find out the path to, find the solution in our journey. That is in one sutta. I think this was given in the sutta called Chula Sakulda. I can't remember exactly. And then what happened to him was that he started eating some food. Then he understood, yes, I think it's very good for me to eat on some food. So after some time, he found out that the path to Buddhahood, what he calls Samma Sambuddhatva, is to find a balance between the traditions that talk about the pain, while the others talk about the extra happiness, too much happiness. So he thought that the correct path, the holistic path, could be between this. But the people misunderstood. People thought, okay, it's a little bit of pain, a little bit of happiness. That is middle path. Those are ends. Those are extremes. A little bit of pain, a little bit of this. That is how people understand Atta Kilamatana Yoga and Kamasukallikana Yoga. Anyways, then he found the path that I need to be in the middle, that is none other than the Noble Eightfold Path, Arya Attanga Manka. Then he proceeded, he became the Buddha. I think this needs no introduction. And then what happened? Then he, where did this happen, Dhamma folks? Where was this happen? In Bodh Gaya, right? This happened in Bodh Gaya, Buddha Gaya, people call it today. And then it was near the Neranjara river. And he thought then, I need to specifically spend 7 weeks, 49 days. We call them 7 special weeks that the Buddha spent. We have a stanza for that in Pali. Patamang bodhi pallankang dutiyancha animnisang tatiyang chankamanang settang chatuttang ratanagarang panchamang ajapalancha muchalindena chattamang sattamang rajayatanang, so on and so forth. That means Patamam Bodhi, the first week he sat down near the Bodhi tree, a Satta Bodhi tree. And the second week he was thinking, I want to be grateful towards the inanimate, this tree. Tree has no life, but I'm grateful for that. Annamisa Lochana Puja. Looking at the tree without blinking my eyes for a week. Somebody might say it's a crazy thing to do, right? Second week. And then Patamam Bodhi Pallanka, Dutiyan Chanim, Tatiyan Chankamanang Settan. So he walked between 2 places in the third. So thus he spent 7 weeks, 49 days. There was 1 week that the torrential rain came in. Then the Buddha was getting wet because of the rain. So there was a some people call it different. Some people say it's a snake. Some people say it's a snake king. It's a human, right? Muchalinda. So he came in and then he was helping him not to get wet. And so he spent 7 weeks. After the 7 weeks, now things are going to start now, especially for the Dhammacakkappavattana Suttas. background. What happened after 7 weeks, after 49 days of his Buddhatva? Then now he's trying to start off thinking, who am I going to teach the Dhamma that I found, self-found in so many hard ways? So his mind went to his teachers. So how do we know this information, Dhamma folks? I'm asking from you, where do you find this information in the Pali Canon? Where? From the monk in the temple, or from somebody that
The life
I
of the
met on the
Buddha.
road? Sorry?
From the story of the life of the Buddha.
Life of the Buddha. Where is it mentioned? Where can we find it out? Because Dhamma folks, when you hear somebody's life, it is always misinformation that are being spread out. It's a life. People interpret differently, right? So we want to know exactly, precisely what it is, at least from a book format. Where do we find this information? Life of the Buddha. MN 26, Majjhima Nikaya 26 Sutta, Ariya Pariyesana Sutta. This sutta, let me type for you. Let me put it like this. Majjhima Nikaya 26. Okay. Majjhima Nikaya 26, Ariya Pariyesana Sutta. So in this sutta, Buddha self introduces what happened. So I would call it an autobiography. Okay. You know what happened at the end of this sutta? The monks who listened to this sutta was they were very terrified, right? They were horripilated. They were terrified. The looking at the sacrifice of the ascetic Siddhartha to attain the Buddhahood. Anyways, in this sutta, it is said that after the Buddha spent 7 weeks of his enlightenment, after 49 days, he was looking for the teachers who helped him to come to his path. Who was his first teacher? Who was the Prince Siddhartha? Sorry, not Prince Siddhartha. I would say ascetic Siddhartha's first teacher. Of course, you know the teacher that he had when he was in the palace. His name was Sarvamitra. Sarvamitra. He was a Brahmin, so he learned all the Brahmins and things from him. I guess 108 sciences from this Sarvamitra. And what about after he left the palace as an ascetic? Who were his teachers? The first teacher is called Bhargava. He's not particularly mentioned, especially even in this sutta, I guess. Bhargava. The second teacher was Alara Kalam. Let me type for you. Bhargava. Bhargava. Then Alara Kalama. Then third is Uddaka Ramaputta. These are the teachers that the ascetic Siddhartha consulted. Pretty interesting things happen. Like when he learned under Alara Kalama, he was able to develop his jhanas, absorptions, to a level of, I guess, the 7th jhana. Okay. And then he was invited by Alara Kalama, Prince ascetic Siddhartha. Now you have attained the same level of my jhana. Can we share our students? Then he said no. He said no. He said, I want to further pursue meditation practice, truth practice. Unfortunately, if we had agreed to him that let's share, that's a respect to my teacher, he would have not come to us then, right? Sometimes it is very good to keep continuing, right? And then what happened? He went to another teacher, kind of a higher teacher than Alara Kalama. We call him Uddaka Ramaputta. Uddaka Ramaputta had already attained Neva Sanya Na Sanyayatana. That is the highest jhana in Hinduism. So that means neither perception, no, Neva Sanya, non-perception. That means perception is an issue. So there is no perception or non-perception. It's kind of higher teaching. So anyways, he also attained that same jhana. Uddaka also said to the Buddha, ascetic Siddhartha, can we share my students? So you can teach, I can teach, you know the rest. He said, no, I want to continue, right? So now the Buddha was looking at these teachers because he wants to teach the real Dhamma to them. He found out these teachers unfortunately passed away probably yesterday, and somebody else passed away 2 weeks ago. They already passed away. But he was very grateful. Just think about it. Everybody, even the people who helped him, even the people who could not help. He treated all in the same brush. Do we do that in our life? Do we similarly consider everybody like that? So we don't learn from the Buddha. We only try to learn from the Dhamma. Dhamma is everything. If we don't learn the Buddha's life, how do we study what he teaches? I know there are issues, but now see the other group, the other person or other kind of people who he selected after that, 5 ascetics, those who left him, they left him. When he said, I don't want to follow what you said after 6 years, they left him. Okay, 5 ascetics. They told me a path, but they didn't work out for me. Where are they? Oh, they are 250 kilometers from here. That's in Varanasi, Benares, Varanasi. It's a long way from Gaya. So he thought I would go there. It would take me like 10 days to go there on foot. And there are scholars who try to study about what happened, why he wanted to go on foot for 10 days. Yes, I mean, he wanted to help out everybody on the road, on the way. He went in there. And then first, when they saw, okay, where was this Isipatana? Isipatana is the place where the temple is located. What do you call it? Isipatana, right? Everybody knows this temple's name? The temple is called Isipatanaram. That is located in Benares. It is set 7 kilometers away from the Benares downtown. Okay. 7 kilometers away, that means it was not too far from Benares city, Varanasi city in today's terms. So he went in, and then the 5 ascetics did not care about it. They thought that he would be coming our way because he could not attain the Buddhahood. Interesting, huh? The way how they looked at. Now this gentleman is coming towards us because he tried everything, didn't work anything. That is why he is coming towards us. Is it a very layman thinking, Dhamma folks? Many people think like that. Huh? When you help somebody, but he left or she left from you, if they are trying to come back to you, thinking like, oh, okay, trying to seek help from me. Layman thinking. They thought the same way. And they thought, okay, we're not going to respect him today because he's coming to us to get the help from us. But when the Buddha was coming nearer, they could not stay without respecting because of the Buddha's power, because of his majesty, right? One ascetic went to find some water to wash his feet. One other one went to find something else. So all the 5 ascetics went to do a couple things before he is coming inside the temple. And then what happened? Then he taught this sutta. There were questions that come up from the 5 ascetic side. What were the questions? They said, we don't trust you. You say you are Buddha, but you are not Buddha. And then the Buddha asked, have I ever proclaimed, have I ever declared that I am the Buddha before? He asked from there. He said, no. That means I have never lied to anybody. But today I declare I'm already the Buddha. Okay. And they were like kind of getting ready to listen to something. And then he started teaching this sutta called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Now, why is it Isipatana? What's the meaning of Isipatana? Now, Varanasi means Varanasi, the name of the city. What is Isipatana? What's the meaning of Isipatana? Isi means ascetics or sages. I would say sages. Isis, rishis. In today's India also, you get to see some rishis, like in Himalayas. So Isipatana means, Isipatana, the area of this temple was called a place where those rishis come and then they go to other places with their levitation power. Isipatana, patana means falling. So the sages fall into this area and then they disappear. Maybe they come again. Kind of like a transit point for the seers, sages to go into their different locations. Isipatana, right? Migadaya. Migadaya means who are the Migas? Folks? Who are the Migas? M-I-G-A, Migas. Deers, D-W-R, deers, Migas. So there are lots of many deers in this area. Varanasi, Isipatana, Migadaya. Okay, so this is kind of a, what do you call, a historical background to how this series of events happen actually in terms of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Now, there are questions that people make. One big question is, now, this sutta does not mention about the Buddha's life. If you carefully notice, this sutta only talks about that he went to Isipatana from Gaya, that means Bodh Gaya, after spending, we had to imagine the distance, 250 to 300 kilometers. And then he taught Dhammacakka, and somebody attained Sotapanna at the end. That's it. Other than that, we don't know anything. But Majjhima Nikaya 26, Arya Pariyasana Sutta clearly says everything. What happened, how he went through the pain, what he tried, what he did, and how he became the Buddha, and all that. Then why is it not the first sutta? Actually, in the Vinaya, I mentioned in the document too, there's a reference from the Vinaya Pitaka. It says that Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the first sutta that Buddha said. Because in the Arya Pariyasana Sutta, it does not talk about the Dhammacakka, especially noble truths in details. So there are some questions. Probably some people say this teaching of noble truths were added later, and it's up to the scholars. But what I can say you is that everybody accept, even the scholars accept at this point, that Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the first sutta that he taught somebody. Now, in this case, 5 monks, not 5 monks, 5 ascetics. What are their names again? What are the names of the 5 ascetics? Kondanya,
Asaji.
Wappa. Let's go in an order. Kondanya, Wappa, Bhaddiya, Mahanama, Asaji. Kondanya, Wappa, Bhaddiya, Mahanama, Asaji. Okay. Now, what happens at the end is that Kondanya attains Sotapanna. Oh, did he attain Nibbana? Or Sotapanna? What does it say? Let's go into the sutta and see what is in the sutta. I'll come back again. Okay. Go slowly to the bottom of the sutta. Somewhere here. Venerable, I would say, ascetic Kondanya becomes Sotapanna. Moreover, as the discourse was being given to Venerable Kondanya, the dust-free, stainless vision of Dhamma arose, whatever has the nature of arising, all that has the nature of ceasing. He attained the dust-free, stainless, virajang, vitamalang, Dhammacakkappavattana udapad. He doesn't say he attained Nibbana. Now, the question is, what happened to the rest of the ascetics? What happened to Vappa, Badya, Mahanama, Asaji? What happened to them? How did even Kondanya attain Nibbana? Those are questions. Now I will unpack all those things. What happened to them? Okay. Now, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta lacks some of the information. The way how Buddha looks at. So Buddha had to teach another sutta to the 5 ascetics. Have you ever heard this? So Buddha had to teach another sutta in addition to Dhammacakkappavattana to help them out. What is the sutta name?
Anatta-lakkana.
Anatta-lakkana Sutta. What does Anatta-lakkana mean? Anatta means?
No soul. No
soul?
self. No self. No self. No self. Discourse of no selves.
No self.
Correct?
Now we have.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, thank you for sharing us, but we are trying to find something interesting. Yashoda, thank you. Actually, there is a problem with this word. How do we call anatta? Is it no self or not self? Because if you say no self, it is incorrect because we have a self. But
Non-self.
conventionally, we have a self. If I don't have a self, then who is this? Who am I? Who are you? We do have. But ultimately, we don't have a self. Then a better translation could be not no self, but not self. You have a self, but you can't take it as a self. Interesting, huh? You can't take it as a self. Because anatta means the conventional self cannot be taken as self at the ultimate level. Paramatta Satya. Sammuti Satya, conventional level, yes, you can. I exist. Yes, yes. I eat. I do karma. Yes. Why not? Self, conventional. But ultimately, there's no self. That is why it is better to say anicca could be impermanence, dukkha could be unsatisfactoriness. I have some problems suffering, but we say suffering too. And then anatta could be not self. And the Mahayanis add another thing to this classification as the 4th one, sunyata, emptiness. That's a high teaching. But anyways, we're going to stop at anatta. So anatta-lakkana means the characteristics of not self. So the Buddha taught this sutta, this mentioned in the Samyutta Nikaya 22.59. Let me type that for you. Anatta-lakkana. Samyutta Nikaya 22.59. Now the Dhammacakkappavattana, as you all know in the document, it's going to be 56:11, same Nikaya. Okay, now you may wonder why all these very important suttas are in Samyutta Nikaya, because Samyutta Nikaya has all the interesting things. Majjhima Nikaya is too long, not too long, I mean, it's compact, but these important teachings come in Samyutta Nikaya, this combined teachings. At the end of the Anatta-lakkana Sutta, what happened to 5 ascetics? What happened actually? Kondanya, Vappa, Badya, Mahanama. What happened to these 5 ascetics? Now, one attained Sotapan. What happened to the 5?
The 5 of them attain arahantship.
They all attain Nibbana. Right? Then the mission accomplished by the Buddha for them. Right? That's interesting. And the Buddha found out that although I taught 5 ascetics starting from Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta and then the Anatta-lakkana Sutta, I still need to clarify some Dhamma teachings that I could not explain in the both suttas in case I have to teach other people. So he is teaching Another sutta for that, we call it Aditta Pariyaya Sutta. Okay, it's going to be, I guess, 38. Aditta Pariyaya. This is going to be in the same Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya, 38:28. Now, one might wonder why I'm talking about this Anatta Lakkana and Aditta Pariyaya. We are supposed to talk about Dhammacakkappavattana. The reason is today I'm giving you the background knowledge. That is the reason what is the place of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta? How do we have to understand? Without knowing all these background stuff, you will never understand the importance of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. That's why I am sharing with you these interesting stuff that are really important to understand the place and the role that Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta plays across the canon. Okay. So, who did the Buddha teach the Aditta Pariyaya Sutta for? It's for the 1,000 jatilas, married people. So he taught this sutta for, sorry?
Kashyap's brothers.
Yeah, Kashyapa brothers, Uruvela, Nadi, Gaya. So these are 3 brothers. So they are called jatilas. They had matted hairs. So the Buddha taught this sutta for them. Now the interesting part of this sutta is about the context. Aditta means burned. When something is burned, right? You know what will it happen? The Buddha says raga or lobha is a fire. Is it a fire? It can burn. Like when you come up with lust, when you come up with desire, sometimes it can take you to a level of fire. You can't resist, right? Temptation, all that can become a fire. Buddha says raga or lobha is a fire. And then dosa, right? That means anger or hatred is a fire. And then the moha, which means ignorance, is a fire. Suffering is also a fire. The Buddha says that everything in our life is made by 12, I would say, senses, sense bases, I would say. Those bases, the base of eye, base of image, base of ear, base of sound, base of nose, base of smell, base of tongue, base of taste, base of body, base of touch, base of mind, base of thought. These bases are always burned by raga, dosa, moha, suffering. So Buddha says everything, sabbha, everything means these 12. Actually, we all get information through these bases, right? You might call, I have a problem with somebody, I have a problem about my job, I have a problem, but all are perceived through senses. The Buddha said, sabbha means all senses, sense bases actually. Dhamma folks, those who came to our sutta discussion far back, remember I explained to you about why the Buddha rejected that he is not, that he is Sabban. He knows everything. I think I shared with you, right? Remember? In one of the suttas, some Brahmins told the Buddha, you are omniscient. You know everything. The Buddha said, no, I haven't said I'm omniscient. Right? I am not omniscient. Now, there are other teachers at the time of the Buddha, they say, we are omniscient, we know everything. The Buddha said, no, I'm not omniscient. But in a later book, in the Khuddaka Nikaya, Patisambhida Magga, monks, some senior monks, they wrote, Buddha is Sabban. But Buddha said, I'm not Sabban. But with this particular Sutta, Aditta Pariyaya, Buddha says, everything happens through our senses. Then I know all that. That means he's Sabban in a way. Because our desires, our points of anger, reasons of anger, our points of reasons of ignorance, reasons of suffering, they all arise, stay, perish within our sense spaces. If the Buddha says, I know what it is, what they are, then we can call him Sabba. But he didn't like the idea that he is Sabbanyo, just as how other teachers claim. Anyways, so Buddha had to teach another 2 suttas to explain what he wanted to teach people, especially what he found out as the Buddha, right? And do you remember another story? Now, once he became the Buddha, after he spent 7 weeks, it is said that he was little, I would say, stepping back from his thought of teaching for some reasons. Do you know why is it? How do we understand that? He thought, maybe this is not going to work for people. Why is it? He thought that people might not understand. But there are problems with this expression, because if he could understand the truth by himself, why he couldn't understand that there are people? There are questions posed, right? That's a funny thing, right? If he understood the truth by himself, why can't he understand that there are people out there? Then there was a person who came in. His name was Sahampati Mahabrahma, the head Mahabrahma. And he said, Bhante, don't be dejected. There are people outside. Please come on up and then start teaching your Dhamma. The books say, then only he thought, okay, I'm going to go find out the right people to teach Dhamma. Right? All this happened, whatever the arguments on that. So this is the context of how Dhammacakka Sutta has to be understood. But today, I also want to talk about something pretty interesting about this sutta, just to go over the context of the sutta. We are not going too much into it, but just to give you an idea. Otherwise, you only study only one part, one section every Friday. For that, I wanted to share again the PDF. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Let's break down the words over here. How do we separate out the words over here in this name of the sutta? Anybody wants to separate these words to find the meaning? Dhamma. What is Dhamma? What does Dhamma mean here?
Teaching.
Dhamma
teaching?
has a lot of meanings. Okay,
The truth.
let me discuss that with you also. Dhamma in the Pali canon has multiple meanings. Okay, there was a professor at Colgate University in New York who done a PhD about the multiple meanings of the Dhamma. John Ross Carter. Multiple meanings of Dhamma. That's the PhD. It's a lengthy book. It covers everything. So Dhamma has multiple meanings. Somebody over here, I said, Hema said, Dhamma could mean teaching. Yes, that's the bigger meaning. That's a bigger meaning. That means even if you say the Dhamma of the Jesus Christ, teaching of the Jesus Christ, Dhamma of Bhagavad Gita, Hindu codex, Dhamma of Islam, they might not call it, but if a person from our background might call it. So Dhamma has a meaning called teaching. What are the other meanings of Dhamma?
Phenomena, the truth of nature.
Phenomena. That means everything that happens to us are called as being phenomena. That is not Dhamma, that is called Dhamma. Now we have that called Chakku, Rupa, Sota, Saddha, Gandha, what do you call Chakku, Sota, Gana, Gandha, Jivha, Rasa, Kaya, Pottabba, Mano, Dhamma. Whatever the mind takes from outside are called Dhamma. Those are thought. That is another meaning. Thoughts. Thoughts are called as being Dhamma. And as you said, phenomena means everything that happens to us. Why were we born? It is because it is a Dhamma. Why are we being aged? Why are we getting old? Because of the Dhamma. Right? Phenomena. So now we already talked about couple meaning. One is the teaching of somebody. Second is thoughts. Third is phenomena. Any other meaning of Dhamma?
Law.
Law. What kind of law is that? Jurisprudence? What kind of law is that? Yeah, law. I would say, yeah, remember the 5 laws. Utu, Bija, Dhamma, Kamma, Chitta, Dhamma. Right? Now, when somebody asks, you know what? When a bodhisattva is born into this world, first, Brahma is going to accept the bodhisattva. And then they hand the bodhisattva into the 4 guardian deities, the what you call Ti-Ratana, Viruddha, Virupakka, Vesavana, right? And then the 4 guardian deities hand bodhisattva into the wet nurses, right? This is how it happens. So the humans cannot take the baby from the mother of the bodhisattva. Somebody asks, why is it happening? Is it Dhamma? That is Dhamma. It's the law of the Dhamma. You can't find the reason. Why is it? When the bodhisattva is born into this world, right after he was born, the Deva is going to bathe him from 2 streams, cold water and hot water. What will happen if you're going to bathe a newborn baby with cold water and hot water? What will happen to the baby? Why is it happening to bodhisattva? No reason. Is it Dhamma? It is Dhamma. You can't find the reason. Other things, when the bodhisattva is in the womb of the mother, even the king, even the husband of the even the husband of the bodhisattva's mother cannot approach her, cannot even touch, because he is being protected by the 4 guardian deities. If the husband is going to touch her, he's going to be shackled by chains, because they are protecting him from the Maras. Because this baby is having lots of trouble and he's going to meditate, right? And then the bodhisattva is born upside down. His legs coming first, the head coming later. Normally, like in our case, our head comes first and then the legs comes later, right? That's how things happen. So it's how it is happening. It's bodhisattva, right? It's not a normal thing. What are the other things? Once the bodhisattva is born, he speaks, he talks, right? Other than a cry, I don't think a baby can talk. Right? Why is it happening? Bodhisattva. Once he is born, the whole universe, the cosmos is going to have a, tremble, because this powerful being was coming to this whole universe. And the people who were blind turn out to be people who can see things, right? There are a lot of things happening. This is happening because of that. This is one other meaning. Thank you, Calvin. So that means first, teaching of somebody, thoughts. Second, third is phenomena, as Emma said. The fourth is universal law. Any other meaning of Dhamma?
Truth.
Yeah, truth. Yeah, that's also because part of the teaching is the truth. Because I think every teaching is said that we are talking the truth. Huh? It is combined with the teaching. Yeah. Hinduism says they're talking about the truth. Buddhism says they're talking about the truth, etc., etc. Any other meaning of the Dhamma?
It's a practice.
Yeah, so if it is a teaching, if it is the truth, then definitely we're going to follow. Yeah, practice. Yeah, so we can take it that way too. Yeah, teaching. Then, yeah. Any other meaning of Dhamma? The nature of the real nature, true nature of anything is also called Dhamma. What is the Dhamma of our life? True nature of something. This is found out in Abhidhamma, actually. True nature of anything. What is the Dhamma? Now, Dhamma folks, when somebody passes away, when you have a spiritual discussion about the passing, well, you know what, we're gonna die. That's the nature of our life, true nature of that life. So somebody got cancer, this is very unusual. She's very young and he's very young. Why he got this? You can't find the reason. There's no generational issue here. But she got. The life is uncertain. Uncertain life. That's the nature of the life. And somebody might say, no, there are people who did not get it. It's also nature of the life. Right? It works both ways. So Dhamma has many meanings, Dhamma folks. So you need to be very careful in using these different multiple meanings. Do you think I need to type in those meanings here, or you just wrote down? Did you?
We wrote down.
I wrote down, okay. Okay, so now that is Dhamm. Then let's go back to the document over here. Dhamm. Then Chakka. Find out the Chakka. What is Chakka?
Chakka.
Okay, what is Dhamma here? This is what you call by the truth. Yes, truth or teaching. I would say truth. The ultimate truth. Dhamma. And then the Chakka. What does Chakka mean?
Wheel.
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 Oh, wheel. Are there any other places where we find Chakka in the Pali Canon? Mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya manasache paduttena bhasativa karutiva tatonan dukkha mangveti chakkang vavahatu pada. Interesting. There we go. Chakra is over there. Wheel. So if you do a bad karma come after you. It's just as how the wheel comes after the hoof of the drone, the ox that is being drawn actually. So anyways, Chakka means wheel. Are there any other places? Yes, there's a sutta called Cakkavatti Sihanada Sutta.
Yeah.
In Buddhism, there's a concept called not a king. There's a supreme king called Cakkavatti king. This particular king has a wheel that he can actually roll it to other places across the oceans, eastern, western, everywhere in the whole world. Now here it is said the Buddha uses Dhamma as a wheel. Now you might just guess the next question like to be. The Buddha used the Dhamma, his teaching, as a wheel. That means it has to roll it to somewhere. It has to be in motion. Let's go back then to the document here. Chakka means wheel. Then Pavattana. Don't worry about this extra P. It's a double consonant because when you want to combine words, because it's for the easy pronunciation, that's why there's one more P was added there. Otherwise, there's no meaning. So Dhamma, Chakka, just Pavattana. Pavattana means setting the wheel of Dhamma. Now, when you set the wheel of Dhamma, that has to be in motion. That has to work. Now, my question to you is that, what is this wheel story in the Dhammacakka? Why there's a wheel here? How do we understand the wheel in this sutta? Has anybody ever thought this?
It starts to turn the motion of the truth and the law.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah, great. Sathis, can you unmute your...
The wheel of samsara.
Okay, it is also a wheel, yeah. We call it Sansara Chakra. Sansara is a wheel, Sansara is an ocean. There are multiple wheels. Yeah, there's also a way of looking at it. Any other person who has specifically looked at the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, wherein which you see there is a turning of the wheel in some sort of ways? how does this Chakka story get connected to Dhammacakkappavattana? What is the relevance of that? Right? How do you relate this?
Is it because it's a symbolic of a wheel whereby, you know, the central of there is a central of the Buddha's teaching, the various, what is the various part of the whole wheel?
Yeah, we can sort of
Symbolic.
think. Okay, you say it is symbolic, but what is it symbolic for? What are the contents of that? Now, you know, samsara is a wheel, and
Yes.
it is said that samsara, in that wheel, there are spokes.
Yeah, spokes. That's
and
right.
there is the radius.
Yeah,
And the Buddha is cut, every Arahant is cutting that radius, so the wheel cannot set in motion after that. That's a very famous story in samsara and karma and the cause and effect, you know, thing. But what is the relevance of a chakka into Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta? Okay, I think I saw a message over here.
I think, Bhante, can I say something that continuously cause the effect of one affected the rest? Is like the Four Noble Truths. There's a connection to continue.
Yeah, that is what I'm asking. Can you talk it from the context? Now, this is a guess.
Relevance, could it be Paticca Samuppada, the 12th link?
Yeah, if there is a motion, definitely it is
Is it
Paticca.
means
There's
a
no
12 link?
question about it. Cause and effect. Now I'm asking, can you find out the contents from the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta on how to find a wheel into this sutta? Now, without further ado, let me go and talk that about. Here, we're gonna go over here. Let's go slowly down.
The Noble Eightfold Path.
Now, yeah,
Is
I'm trying to explain to you. Now, just to give you a kind of a heads up over here. Now, this is the background thing, okay? This is what we discussed today. That means what happened to the Buddha and then how he came to, he was staying near Varanasi and all that. And then he's trying to talk about two extremes, as you see, these two. We have a separate days for these two. And then coming to the middle part and all that going up over here. And then we come into Four Noble Truths. Okay. This is the place. You can see here, Ti-Ratana and Dwadasakara. Okay. Ti-Ratana, Vatta is a round.
The three perspective and the 12 aspect.
I'm explaining to all of you. So the Buddha says every truth has to be understood with 3 perspectives and 12 aspects. Okay. Now, I would call them to be this way. Probably, I think this is the link for that. Now, yeah, this is the link to the flyer. Okay, so these are the individual truths, 1, 2, 3, 4. And see, every truth associates 3 types of knowledge. You might see, okay, I know what is noble truth, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, but it could be a partial truth. So could be one of them. Means every truth associates 3 knowledges. Thereby, you get to see 3 multiplied by 4, you get 12 aspects. Now, if somebody understands these 3 perspectives and 12 aspects, that means this is the place what we understand by the wheel. That means Buddha is setting this in motion, right? Buddha wanted to set these 4 noble truths along with 3 perspectives and 12 aspects. That is the wheel in terms of the wheel that we know in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. That means there are multiple meanings to wheel also. Chakka also has lots of meanings in Buddhism. Parisamuppada, Sansara, right? And then the, what do you call, Chakravarti monarch, the Raja, there are multiple meanings. This is what the Buddha says that everybody of us should understand. If I nail it down to layman words, I would say, Satcha, Kiccha, Kata. Satchanyana, Kichanyana, Katanyana. Now you can see here again. Now every truth associates what you call Satchanyana. This means a theory of this truth. The noble truth of suffering, dukkha, arya satcha. What is it? And then there is the practice, Kichanyana. Sila Samadhi Panya, practice of what I need to do in terms of that particular knowledge that I had as theory. Katanyana, they are all same here, okay? Katanyana means realization. Once your practice became very successful, fruitful, then you come to the point that you realize that particular truth. So that means this is a process of the truth process. Every truth has to be understood by three knowledges. I would call them theory, practice, and then realization. Now, when some people talk about Four Noble Truths, they repeatedly say, I know what they are. It is mostly about the first part of the truth. We call them by theory part, Satchanyana. Satchanyana of the first truth, Satchanyana of the second truth, Satchanyana of the third truth, Satchanyana of the fourth truth. In other words, in our other Pali words, how can we understand this? Pariyatti, Patipatti, Patived. Pariyatti means knowledge, Dhamma knowledge. Then Patipatti means the practice. Pativeda means realization. How can I give this in very simple words, Dhamma folks? If I ask you a question, how do you think that your practice, your Dhamma practice, is really going well? Give me an answer to that. Now you all practice, you all go to temple, you all practice whatever you think to be the most holistic stuff at home, outside. So how do you look at your path? If you unfold it like a framework, how do you look at it? Where are my mapping? How do I map my Dhamma path? What should I do? Where do I start? How do I maintain? Right? Your Dhamma path. You individually say, I'm a good Buddhist. I practice Buddhism so good. If somebody asks you, hey, how do you do that? That's the question. How do you do it? As a Buddhist, if you say you do your Buddhist path, you do your Dhamma thing very well, how do you practice it? I will find a good way to explain this.
Okay. Bhante, can I say that the practice is start off with the sila, morality, and then to samadhi, to panya? The practice.
Okay. Sila, samadhi, panya is the basic way that we all know from the many suttas in the Tipitaka that we're gonna do sila, samadhi, panya. But does it always work that way? Is it like
No.
how do I say?
No.
Instincts go beyond. Instincts take over the wisdom. Is it true?
Yeah.
Now you are learning to drive, you are a good driver, and you think that everybody drives according to the manual. Huh? You get into the road and people are going crazy. Huh? There's a good driver who left the house after some time of his usual time. He's actually making tantrums to other drivers on the road, saying, this guy is not driving properly. I could have bypassed him, but he's the problem. He left the house very late today, and then telling everybody else is wrong. That means wisdom has lots of issues. Sometimes the way how we're going to put it, wisdom has no issues, but the way how we use it, our instincts going to take over. So I'm asking, does Sila Samadhi Panya, the threefold training, always work like Sila Samadhi Panya? Very good to mention Sila Samadhi Panya, Hema, because that is what we know. I think everybody else should understand also. Our practice should have this what you call levels called Sila Samadhi Panya, but there are issues. Now I'm asking, does Sila Samadhi Panya way always work as it was given? Then how is it going to happen? How is it going to work for us? Dhamma folks, those who don't know about this, I'm going to teach you something here. As a Buddhist, your Dhamma path should start from a certain thing, and then you are going forward and you have a certain way that you're going to accomplish that Dhamma path. That is very essential in Theravada. Even in Mahayana also, they have their own ways. Sila Samadhi Panya is the gradual way. But I'm now telling you, by looking at the suttas, many suttas, it is not always going to work that way because of some reasons. Without further ado, let me tell you. Usually, we start with some panya. If a teacher or maybe a book, maybe a good book, maybe a really good Dhamma teacher, not gonna tell us that we need some wisdom before we even get into Sila, then we will stagnate, or probably we will mess up. Mess up our own Sila. Why is it? Sila should not be our ending point. Some people start from Sila and they end there because they don't know. Is Sila a Buddhist virtue? No, it is also coming from Hinduism too. Then we need a little bit of wisdom, not that accomplishment level of wisdom. Somebody has to teach us, or we have to self-study. Some Suttamaya Jnana, we call. Suttamaya Jnana means Suttamaya Panya, which means some wisdom through listening. And then we get into the Sila practice. Every time I practice my Sila, Pancha Sila or 10 Sila or other Sila, I know this is not where I'm going to end up. Do you have this understanding when you practice your Sila? I need Sila, but this is not the place where I end up in my spiritual practice. Because I have to go into another level. What is at another level? Samadhi. Then some panya, and then we go to Sila, and then while practicing Sila, we need to go to Samadhi. Samadhi? What is Samadhi? The meaning of Samadhi.
Concentration.
Is it? Is somebody said meditation. Very interesting.
Concentrate.
Clarifying the mind.
Clarifying the
Awareness.
mind. Oh, somebody said something else.
Concentration, Bhante.
Concentration, and somebody said meditation, and Aliana said clarifying the mind. But what is Samadhi? That's it, asset awareness. What is Samadhi? Kusala chittasa ekaggata samadhi. It is not concentration. It is not focus. It is not only clarifying the mind, because you have to clarify in the mind to even do some harm to somebody. Clarify the mind today. I'm going to hit on somebody tonight. You know, but good ways of looking at it. The Buddha said, Kusala chittasa ekaggata samadhi. That means concentration, but the concentration which is happening in the wholesome thought. That means our mind can get concentrated for unwholesome things too. Why not? Even for unwholesome things, our mind can get concentrated. Our mind can get focused. For those people who try to do harm to other people, they need they plan. That's why people are looking, who is the mastermind behind this crazy crime? Mastermind. Lots of concentration. So, Samadhi is not concentration. Concentration is the virtue. It could be a good concentration. It could be a bad concentration, right? Samma Samadhi, Miccha samadhi. Then samadhi alone is not a good word for us. Samma samadhi. We call it kusala chittasa ekaggata. The concentration of the wholesome thought, wholesome mind. That is samadhi. Now that is what we're going to do after sila. Some level of panya, go to sila, then go to samadhi. Then do we have to end up over there? Like Alara Kalam and Uddaka Ramputta? Alara Kalam, Uddaka Ramputta, they ended up there. And they were born in the Brahma world. But the prince, ascetic Siddhartha said, no, I want to continue. Like what he said to you. Then after that, Anya, wisdom. Very interesting. The most important thing in Buddhism is wisdom. Now I'm going to tell you something, but I can't tell you the reference now. There was a senior devotee, old devotee, little senior man, who came to see the Buddha, said to the Buddha, Bhante, I have a problem. It's very important to all of us. Then the problem is, Bhante, I'm very old now. So what? The Buddha said. He said, that means I cannot practice sila. Now I have a question for you. Does old age affect practicing sila?
No.
It can. That is why it is said, don't wait till you get old to practice sila. That means when you are young, when you are in the middle age, you can practice sila better than when you're getting old. Because with your movements, restrictions of the movements and others, probably some health issues, you may not be able to do it in the best way. Right? Then he said, Bhante, I'm very old. I cannot practice the sila the way how they were talked about mostly. But some people might do. Huh? There are some exceptions. Some old folks might do, but generally. Then, Bhante, then what about the samadhi? Samadhi, I cannot focus because I'm too old. My mind is not working, I'm old and I cannot concentrate. I always think about my past, when I was young time, what I did, my middle age. I'm physically not strong enough to practice meditation. He said. Then the Buddha, so what's the problem? Problem is, I'm very scared now. What if I'm going to die today? Because I cannot practice sila, I cannot practice samadhi. Then the Buddha asked, how about panya, wisdom? Then the Buddha, he said, I have wisdom. I know what is happening in my life. I know that I should attain sotapanna. Then the Buddha said, don't worry about anything else. Okay. Does this mean that sila samadhi are not important? No, they are important. But they are important only if you really work out on panya, wisdom. Wisdom is the most important thing in Buddhism. That is why even in the Ratana Sutta, remember Ratana Sutta? Remember this part? Kincha piso kammang karoti papakang kayena vacha udaketa ababbo sotassa patichadaya abappata vittipadasya. Even the sotapanna person can do some bad akusala. May do, we never know, but not the 6 heinous karmas. But she will not do the 6 heinous karmas. But still, as humans, people can make mistakes, right? But he will never do 6 heinous karma because he knows what is sotapanna like, sotapatti like, right? That means he knows panya to a higher level. Panya is very important. But this does not say you don't need to practice sila. You need to practice sila just to keep yourself up to date with your Dhamma. You also need to contemplate on your meditative things, but put more emphasis on the panya part. Okay, somebody here said it should be no age issue, young kids doing sila at their capacity, middle age doing on their way, old age. Yeah. No. We are not talking about how different people practice it. Different people practice differently. Even maybe a senior person might practice differently than we discussed. I was trying to say, it's not an age problem. I was trying to say, when people getting into different ages, there may be some difficulties for many to practice these virtues, these training principles in their entirety. Now, in terms of attaining Nibbana, the Buddha said wisdom is the most important part. But you won't come to wisdom without Sila Samadhi. Let other people practice their own way. But in terms of Nibbana. So, Dhamma folks, today, what I wanted to teach you is that Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the first sutta that the Buddha taught. In this sutta, he particularly mentioned about the Four Noble Truths. This is the main thing, but with 3 perspectives and 12 aspects. This is what we call a wheel that he wants to set them in motion. He wants to give it to as many people as he can. At the end of this sutta, the happiness of sharing of the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths is going to go to many heavens, and not even to heavens, but also to Brahma worlds. The original sutta does not talk about the Brahma worlds in names, but the Sri Lankan version translations and Sri Lankan chanting, they add Brahma worlds name, but they are not in the main sutta. Like, for example, I would say the cry or the sound of the happiness of this approval of the Four Noble Truth teaching was given to the first heaven, which is called by Chatum Maharajika, then Yama, then Tavatinsa, Tusita, Nimmanarati, Paramita, and then there is a stock expression going by. Then it went to other Brahma world, but the sutta does not name what are they. But I added their names. If you can see here in the document, you can see under should be somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. We are almost there. Yeah, see that cry reach as far as the Brahma worlds, but there's no mention about the names. These are the 16 Brahma worlds: Brahma Parisajja, Brahma Purohita, Maha Brahma, Parittaba, Appamanaba, Abasara, Parittasubha, Appamana Subha, Subhakinna, Vehappala, Asanya Satta, Aviha, Atappa, Sudasa, Sudasi, Akanita. Dhamma folks, do you know that God called Sakka Indra, the head god in Tavatinsa? There's information in the canon that he wants to be reborn in Akanita, the highest material Brahma world. Okay, so this is just a brief knowledge about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and we will be going to discuss about the first extreme, Atta Kilamatang Yoga or Kamasapalya Yoga next, not next Friday, the Friday after next Friday. Any questions about today? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Bhante, you mentioned a lot about Sila. My understanding of Sila is morality. So, but when you were talking about Sila, it sounded more like a practice of our daily life, like Dana.
No, exactly not.
Maybe you elaborate a little bit more for us.
I said practice. Practice has Sila Samadhi Pani. Sila simply means that there are precepts. There are precepts. 5 precepts are actually pre-Buddhist.
Okay.
They are pre-Buddhist and not Buddhist actually. 5 precepts are pre-Buddhist, but so we accept that. And then we have what you call 10 kusala. I would say 10 kusala would be a good way to start our sila. Dana is an additional practice. We should do that too, because it helps us clean our mind, purify our mind. In Buddhism, no practice is trivial. Every practice is important because different people understand the truth differently. Okay, but the Buddha has clearly explained how does the main truth, what you call the Four Noble Truths, going to be comprehended by someone, right? in that perspective, Panya is very important. Maybe someone is offering dana to a monk or a couple of monks for long term, and then she understands Lobha Dosa Moha very well. And then probably that practice could be a part of the Sila. That practice could be the Samadhi. That practice could be the wisdom too. So every practice is important. I know that you all practice dana, there's no question. But Sila, Samadhi, Panya is the normal way. In order for us to really understand Sila, Samadhi, Panya and practice them, we have to start from some Panya. We need some Panya to understand our path. And then Sila, Samadhi, and then we are heading towards Panya. That's the end of samsara. Whenever, wherever, in our samsaric journey.
Thank you, Bhante.
If you have
Bhante,
any questions about Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or you were having these questions to ask for a long time, you can ask. Yeah, Hema?
Bhante, can I ask, is Saranat the same place as Veneris? Saranat.
Saranat?
Saranat. When we go for pilgrimage there, I thought it's Saranat. First sermon that Buddha gave the first speech of this sutta. Is there a town? Is it the town or the temple or what? Saranat, yes.
Saranat, I think so. Yeah.
Is the town? Is it the same name of
sure
this site?
I think Saranat should be. I haven't checked that. Yeah.
It's the same name or
yeah,
what?
see here, Saranath is the place located 10 kilometers northeast of Varanasi. Yeah, it is there. It's near Isipatana Ram. Yeah, Migadaya, this temple.
Is the temple here? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Bhante.
I think when you are on a pilgrimage, they take you to Saranath.
Yeah,
that means
that's
the
right.
place, point of interest for the Migadaya. You know?
Yeah.
The Dhamma Stupa, Bhante.
There is a stupa, because they say Saranath, but Isipatana is in that area, vicinity. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Any other questions about today?
Bhante, there's one more question from you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
You mentioned about the five ascetics, the Kondanya, Asaji, Badiya, Vapa. You mentioned that you have to mention that in a certain order. May I ask why certain order?
In Buddhism, there is a order in many Dhamma teachings, and especially even with the names. If you really want to memorize them. Now, for example, I can say Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, right? But we always go by Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, where there's an order. Now, I think this set of monks, they are just names. There's nothing very important. But how come the first one attained Sotapanna? First one is Anya Kondan. We call it Kondan. Anya means he was able to self-understand. And Vappabadhya Mahanamasa, this is the way how it was given in the text. So if you think it is difficult to memorize, it's okay. They are just names. But for the Dhamma matters, I think it is good to remember the order. For the personal names, I don't think there's a hard
There's no significance about it. I thought they are by seniority.
Probably, I don't know about that fact. No, I don't know about that. Probably, yes. Yeah, probably.
Can you repeat? Can you repeat the
Kondanya, Vappa, Badhya, Mahanama, Assaji. Remember Assaji? He is the one who taught Dhamma to Sariputta, Upatissa.
Yes.
Kondanya, Vappa, Badhya. Mahanama,
Vappa, Badhya, then Assaji, is it?
Mahanama, Assaji.
Oh, okay.
We never know what happened to Mahanama. You know what? Badhya.
Mahanama is Buddha's.
Not a lot of information.
Buddha's cousin brother, is it?
No. Yeah, there are relationships like that. But there are no lot of credible information about what happened to Bhattya and all these people.
I don't know.
Mhm. That Mahanama is another Mahanama, Shakya.
Yes, I think so.
Mahanama. He's a
Different.
layman actually, not a monk. Any questions, Dhamma folks? Take one more minute.
I want to makan Papa.
Okay, so if you have any questions after this, so you are welcome to send us a message, even to the group, even to me, and definitely can answer the question. Okay, so let's get into our transference of merits part. At the end of our session, especially today, at the end of the first day of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta session, we're going to look at, revisit the good karmas we've been doing so far. First, we paid homage to Buddha 3 times and then discussed the background story of the Buddha, to which he understood the teachers and then the 5 ascetics, and how he taught the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta and the meaning of the wheel of the Sutta. How does the wheel work within this context? And especially with the Parivatta, 3 perspectives and 12 aspects, Dwada Sankara. So all the good karmas that we been accumulating by learning, engaging in discussion, be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. If the departed people that passed away in the name of all of us were already reborn in a place of pain, may they be able to switch to a better rebirth. If they are already in a better rebirth, may they be able to improve their standard of life and practice more Dhamma, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idang me ñāti nang hotu, sukita hontu ñāte. Idang me ñāti nang hotu, sukita hontu ñāte. Idang me ñāti nang hotu, sukita hontu ñāte. Next, we're going to share all the good karmas with the Devas, Nagas, and Mahikas. May all the good karmas be shared by all the Devas, Nagas, and Mahikas. While the Nagas, Devas, and Mahikas be well and happy, may they be able to bless and protect all of us, reverend monks, devotees, everybody who joined here from many places, and their family members, everybody in their families, be blessed and protected by them for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, and for all blessings. May Deva Naga Mahidika also be well and happy, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We have 2 sets of crystals. First, Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang. Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasatthacha bhummanta devanaga mahindika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tuluka sasanam. Akasatthacha bhummanta devanaga mahindika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tudesanam. Akasatthacha bhummanta devanaga mahindika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tumang paranti. Chirang rakkang tutwang sadati. May all the good karmas also be helpful for all of us to be in the company of the Kalyana Mitas, noble friends, not be in the company of the Papa Mitas, till we attain the Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to recite the wish. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavanimbana pantiyam. Finally, may all the good karmas which we have been accumulating so far be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silis nichang vaddha pachayinu chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining, everyone, and I hope you have a very good evening, a good week coming up. And I'm going to seeing you then not next week. That means I'm going to be seeing you on 31st, right? Is it correct, Aliana? 31st, I guess. Yeah, March 31st. For those people near Klang area, I might be seeing, I'm going to be seeing, not I might. I'm going to be seeing you on March 25th, Saturday, during the conference.